In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw the cross in Isometric by walking you through each step. We'll start by drawing the outline of the cross, then add shades of colour and finally add some weighted lines. First, open up the Techsoft 2D Design app. Once open, go to the grid settings in the top right hand corner of the screen. To access the settings, double click or single right click. In the settings menu, under grid angle, select Isometric and click OK. To ensure your drawing's accurate, you'll need to put the grid lock on, which is the tab underneath the grid settings. Then expand the line tool menu and change from drawing a single line to drawing a series of connected lines. This will help to speed up drawing the cross. You'll need to make sure that you can fit the entire cross on the page. So you'll start by drawing the base of the cross near the bottom of the page. The base of the cross is 100mm deep by 120mm wide. As you draw, make sure that you keep to the grid lines. Once you have the depth and width, continue by adding a thickness of 10mm. Next, work out the position for the stem of the cross, which will be in the centre of the base and 20mm from the back. The stem itself is 20 by 20, the height is 150, so start adding these lines. Start from the base and use the dimensions displayed at the bottom of the screen to help you draw the correct length. Finish the stem by adding 2 short lines at the top. There is now some detail that can no longer be seen. To remove these parts, you'll need to use the Delete Part tool. Find the Delete tool and hold down left click to expand the menu. Select the next option along, which is Delete Parts. Now click on the parts of the line that need removing. Okay, you can now add the crossbar, and to do this it'll be easier to zoom in on the location using the zoom options on the right hand toolbar. The crossbar is 40mm down from the top of the stem, so count 4 spaces and start to draw. The total length of the crossbar is 100mm, so let's break that down. The thickness of the stem is 20, leaving us 80mm. Considering the crossbar has equal measurements on both sides, divide the 80 into 2 parts, leaving 40. That means the crossbar needs to come out 40mm from the stem. So that's 40 out, 20 down and 40 back. Once you've drawn the crossbar, add the depth, which is 20mm to match the stem. Then use the Delete Part tool to remove hidden details. To make the T-light holder in the base, select the Circle tool. Remember that when drawing a circle in 2D design, you start from the centre. So find the midpoint and draw a circle with a 20mm radius. Then, using the Selection tool, select the circle you've just drawn, grab the bottom mid-anchor point and drag up by 10mm. Then, do the same from the top anchor point. Copy and paste the now elliptical shape and position it 10mm below the original. Use the Delete Part tool to remove the unwanted section of the ellipse. Now in this stage, you'll be adding colour to your cross using shades to create a little more realism. Start by opening the colour palette at the top of the screen. Then click on Define Custom Colours to expand the menu. Bottom left, you'll see that there's a row of empty palettes and you'll need to add 3 shades, a highlight, a mid-tone and a core shadow. Before starting, make sure that you've selected an empty palette. Select a timber-like colour tone, then choose a lighter shade. Now click on Add to Custom Colours. Do this 2 more times to create your 3 shades, then click OK. Select the Boundary Fill tool from the left-hand tool menu. Click on the Fill Colour option, select Lightest Shade, and then click OK. You'll need to decide which faces should have the highlight, midtone, and core shadow, which will be based on your chosen location for the source of light. When using the Boundary Fill tool, you'll be asked each time whether or not there are any islands. An island refers to any shape within a shape that is not in contact with the boundaries. So here, the ellipse for the tea light would be an island within the top of the base. In which case, when asked, select Yes and click on the island shape. This tells the software to avoid this area when adding colour. Each time you want to add the next shade, simply double-click the Boundary Fill tool and select the appropriate colour shade. Finally, you'll add your weighted lines. In the top menu bar, select the Line tool. In the Line Style Settings window, change the line width setting to Thick and change it from 2mm to 1.5mm. You don't have to change this, but I think 2mm is just a little too wide in this instance. Now go back to the Lines tool and use it to go over the outer lines of the drawing. If you're not entirely sure where to add these weighted lines, just copy how it's done here. And that's it. Hopefully you're happy with your finished isometric drawing of the cross. If you'd like to see it without the isometric grid in the background, simply deselect the Grid Settings tool and then click the Redraw tool to remove any glitches on screen.